Hey guys, this is Justin back with an engineer's perspective, and I'm doing an update on this here, the Leatherman Ratchet driver. So I've had this guy for about 5 months, I think now, and I'd say to summarize all of the use up is number one is it's amazing. And I love it. It's maybe even life-changing relative to Leatherman use. So that's the first thing. Second is this one is going to go back for warranty work. So let's dig into that. I posted on YouTube about 5 months ago my initial impressions of this ratchet driver, and then I did a series of progressively harsher tests driving in large screws in 2x4s. And in those tests, it did fairly well, but it did develop a little bit of a snaggle tooth doing the last test where I cinched down a very large screw using a T40 bit. And what did it in wasn't the screwing it in, but was at the very end, that last little tightening of it put a little snaggle tooth into one of these teeth. Let's see if we can find it. Right there, right there. So it's a little bit right there. So I'm just gonna do this and see if you can hear it. See that hiccup there? So it did develop a snaggle tooth because of that. It may have gotten a tiny bit worse in the last 5 months, but not bad. So the snaggle tooth, that's kind of my own fault. You should never ever drive anything with this. That's a T40. So just, don't be stupid. And that was, stupid for the sake of testing. But that wasn't a cause to send this into warranty. What does make me want to send it into warranty is that crack right here. My iPhone doesn't want to pick it up, but there's a crack in this plastic cover right there. So your bottom piece of the assembly is cast steel, the top piece is cast steel, and the internal parts, I believe, are also metal. But this little selector is plastic, and it has developed a crack. It runs about from the base here up to this point here. It hasn't propagated through this little knurled section, so I don't know if it will down the line, but I'm not planning on finding out. I was going to send this in. Note that any Leatherman accessory, so not the tools, but these accessories like the bits, bit holders, whatever, those are a 2-year warranty, not the legendary Leatherman 25-year warranty, which is basically a lifetime warranty. So, I got to get this in before that's up. So that's the bad. That snaggle tooth I developed, and it's got that crack. However, it still works great. For the use I've gotten out of it, honestly, I've done a ridiculous amount of just generic screw driving jobs, just loose screw there, replacing doorknobs, just screwing in screws into the wall to like hang a picture or something, or, whatever, just a bunch of generic jobs like that, like so many I can't even count. Whereas in terms of big jobs, I did have to take down my gutters and put them back up, and I used this for that. That was a very heavy job on this, and I believe what caused that crack. Those screws were in there freaking tight. It was an awkward angle. It was pretty horrible. And after doing it for several hours, I attempted to switch over to the drill, the impact driver, not using this, no, but couldn't get in there because of the angle. It was a whole mess. It sucked really bad. But the people that put those gutters up didn't put the, T-channel that like meets into the gutter. So the water was going, in between gutter and, side of the roof there, whereas it should have overlapped so that it goes into the gutter. So fixed that anyways. So that was a pretty major job, probably the hardest thing it did other than that initial testing. And after all that, it still works just fine. So let's do a little demonstration of that. Got my trusty Charge G10 Earth. Take that out. One of my favorite bits to carry around is this T20, T25, because I run into it a whole lot. So this thing's got the magnets. So that just goes right in there. Easy, really good retention. The smaller the receiving end in there, the less good it holds, but I haven't had any trouble with it. So let's drive into this really random piece of scrap what I've got here. Actually, I'm just gonna do a quick little start on it just to make my life a little easier. All right. This may split the wood, I don't know. But I just wanted to show it working just fine. And this is something that if you did with your Leatherman without this, would just be torture. So it's, oops, sorry. So I drove it through to the other side. Let's flip it around. Oh God. So I'm not gonna take it out. I've already wasted enough of your time, all the way, but you get the gist of it. It works. Driving a, what is this? Number 8, 2-inch long construction screw T25 head. So, it's totally functional. It's more than cosmetic damage, I guess, but it works. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. Is it has limits. We all knew that going into this. I found them. The gutter job, I don't think was overdoing it, but maybe it was a little bit. It was pretty rough work, but the initial testing obviously definitely overdid it, but it works. So if you see yourself trying to use this for extremely heavy work, I would say don't do that. And you can even start a screw like that and then finish it off like this to get that last bit of torque at the end, because that's what can kill this thing, is that last bit of torque. Don't use this as a socket driver, so don't put like the 1/4-inch socket adapters in there. You're probably going to find yourself in trouble if you get onto anything of decent size that way, so I'd say don't do that. But anything in Leatherman's bit kit, you'll probably be driving things that are pretty safe for it. And yeah, just for that final snugging, if you're really gonna get after it, just take it out, stick it in the regular holder and finish it. But I love this thing. If it did break, I would buy another one and just treat it a little bit more carefully, because it's that good. It is a total game changer. Do I hope that Leatherman creates an updated version that's maybe a little bit better made or more robust? Yeah, but they're really close on this one. I kind of alluded to in my initial impressions that you've got a Leatherman tool here. It's not a regular screwdriver, so you don't want to make this piece 4 times stronger than the piece holding it, because the piece is going to fail that's holding it will fail anyways. And it's probably a better idea in terms of Leatherman for this to fail versus the bit holder to fail. So I think they're matched up pretty closely in all sincerity, but I wish this was just maybe a little bit more robust. I would pay extra $5 for it. It's so, some people made a stink over the $30 price tag. This thing pays for itself, guys. Oh man, it's great. So that's kind of my update. Yes, it's taken a beating. Yes, it's hurting and breaking, but functionally, it's 100%, works just as good as the day I got it. And I do recommend it, just with knowing that it has a limit, but it will improve your Leatherman usage, hands down. So that's all I've got for you. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. Bye.